Gotta. We about to break through. We about to break through. Tell the enemy they can't stop us now, man. We breaking through. Yeah, we broke through. Yeah, we broke through. Tell the enemy they can't stop us now, man. We breaking through. We about to break through. We about to break through. Tell the enemy they can't stop us now, man. We breaking through. Yeah, we broke through. Yeah, we broke through. Tell the enemy they can't stop us now, man. We breaking through.
All right, we are back with another episode on The Breakthrough. I am your co-host, Sophina the Diva.
That is right. Warm welcome. I am BilionAir Carter. This is a special drop. We have some independent legends from the Bay Area we're going to highlight today.
Yes, but before we dive into that, let's talk about why we are doing The Breakthrough. Why are we talking about unsigned artists, okay? The Breakthrough really helps to pave the way for these unsigned artists and to really just, shout them out, help them out in the community and do all that kind of stuff and share their success stories.
Most definitely. We educate other artists like myself. As an independent artist, I learned that having your finances in order is the only way to remain independent. Owning full rights to your music and yourself is priceless.
Yeah, that's true. And as an influencer, I've really learned the business behind everything. Really just like how to manage your affairs with someone else and, really do those business deals.
And there is always someone waiting to see how they can get over. The artists we are going to share today found a way to make a career out of their art and remain independent.
Yes, and today we're going to uncover the Bay Area artists and see why they stayed true to becoming independent and how they paved the way.
They definitely did pave the way. They don't make them like they used to anymore. First, y'all already know the honorable mention Mac Dre, who grew up in Vallejo, California. Mac Dre started the hyphy movement back in the early 2000s. Rest in paradise.
Oh, yeah. And in 2001, he found his own label, Fizz Entertainment.
That Thizzle movement, y'all. And for the people who know how powerful Mac Dre is for out here. He's real legend. Rest in paradise. Rest in paradise. Even though he is not here, his music is still felt in the clubs to this day. Parties everywhere. He really cannot be replaced. Truly just like Tupac. They are one of a kind for sure.
Yep, that's for sure. Really hard to follow. But isn't E40 an independent artist?
Yeah, he is. And he has been mostly independent throughout his career. He grew his following selling CDs from his car.
What?
Yes.
Dang. I have mad respect for the artists that just do that kind of stuff and they're just out in these streets just really hustling. Mad respect.
Yes, today we have social media, but back then it was really hard. They didn't have those platforms to do any of that.
Out on the streets,
hustling.
Just hustling.
Straight hustling.
Exactly.
Really breaking through.
Yeah.
That's what the breakthrough was about.
This might sound crazy, but I can't even imagine how it would be like for myself, like selling myself on social if there was no social media.
It does seem archaic, but I am old school. I can actually imagine selling CDs from the trunk of my car.
Oh gosh. I wonder if we could even hang with the old school, independent artists back then. What do you think?
I think we could. We do what we need to do to keep our art alive.
True.
I know we would have to do that if social media didn't exist.
That's true. Did you know that E40 has been making music for over 30 years?
I actually do know that. I did my research.
Good. I just hope that I'm still in the game like 30 years from now, 40 years, 50, I'm just trending like a legend just for years to come.
It's going to happen. I believe it's going to happen.
Speak it into existence.
Facts.
I pray on it.
That's key.
Manifest it.
Yes.
Do all that.
We're gonna have to do an episode on manifestation. That's gonna be a big thing as far as the play for independent artists because it's been great for me and
same. Ditto. Manifestation. We get into that in another episode.
Season 3.
Okay, so next we have this soul woman. Okay, if you guys like jazz, you gotta check her out. Her name is Terri Odabi from Oakland too. So artists come in all shapes, sizes, genres, all that shenanigans. So if you like jazz, once again, you gotta check her out. It's like a soul, blues, just good vibes.
It's crazy. I actually have not heard of her, so I will definitely be tuning in.
Yeah.
Learn something new every day.
That is a running theme. We learn something new every day, especially on this show. Breakthrough.
We are breaking through. Yeah.
Okay, let me tell our audience a little bit more about Terri Odabi. Okay, Terri, like I said, is from Oakland, and she has been performing blues for decades. Decades, okay? And she's won several prestigious awards too. She's amazing.
Man, you know, I love jazz and the blues, so I'm definitely gonna have to check out Terri.
All
Definitely.
of us. Check her out.
Definitely.
All right, well, that sums up the 3 historical, amazing legends.
Facts. Legendary talk over here at the Breakthrough. I am loving the energy that these artists still to this day manage to share through their talents.
Yep, and these artists are unsigned, but they have so much fruitful opportunities ahead.
Facts. You know, could you imagine interviewing Mac Dre yourself?
Like sideshows all in the parking lot, just
Man, I'm telling you, those side shows out here, if you have not been able to experience one in your life,
Tell them what a sideshow is, because not everybody knows what that is.
it's all the cars. It can be a bridge, it can be a street. They do them in LA as well too, but this is where it really originated from and really out here. I feel like, basically all the cars line up. You have you're dancing out there. You got your cars moving by itself. Slide. You hopping out the car. You dancing with the car. It's really an experience that you have to experience. They got them on YouTube. You can catch out side shows on YouTube and different things like that. But it's a cultural
experience.
Yes, you have to experience.
I want to experience that in person. That sounds dope.
And I've seen all ethnicities at a sideshow.
Really?
Yes.
That's awesome. We all coming together.
Yes. To break through.
I love it. I love it. Well, that's it for us on The Breakthrough.
Yes.
We'll see you on the streets.
Stay tuned. It's BilionAir Carter with The Breakthrough, Season 2, and we are in the streets of Oakland, California, right outside the women of the Black Panther Party Museum. And guess what? They were 70% of the Black Panther Party. We need our queens. Our queens are so important to us, and this is just a mere appreciation.
Keisha of OG Charter and Tours. Do you need to take a trip? We do wine tours, beer tours, dinner dates. It's up to you. Sit back, grab a snack, and leave the driving to us. Because at OG, we want to drive you around the bay.
Making our way through life, taking it one day at a time. It's one good thing to be living. Take some time to live your life, like the Hodges. You're the Hodges.
Welcome to The Breakthrough. I am your host, Bobbi Brown, and I have a special present for you all here. I have Kev Choice here today. He is an award-winning Bay Area legend, well known for his piano skills as well as educating music and a community activist. So he is here to grace us with his knowledge and education. Thank you. We're so excited to have you here today. So welcome, Kevin.
Thank you. It's good to be here. Thanks for having me, for sure.
Of course. So we hear that, you started playing the keys since you were 11. We're not going to say how long ago that was.
Right.
But, how did you get started with that passion?
Well, first it was just a curiosity about the instrument. I saw this movie with Prince, Under the Cherry Moon, and ever since then, I just wanted to play piano. So when I started junior high school, I signed up for a class at Westlake Junior High School in Oakland, California. And that's kind of how I started getting introduced to how to play piano and read music, and it just kind of took off from there.
That's awesome. Your dedication to taking those classes and those courses, and it definitely paid forward through you playing for us earlier. I didn't want you to stop, so that was
Thank
amazing.
you.
How have you been able to make a living here in the Bay Area as a musician? This is one of the most expensive places in the U.S., so how do you handle that?
Well, you got to have multiple hustles and multiple grinds. First off, being able to be a performer and just doing different gigs around the city, around the community, or even just around the country, around the world. Also, just being an educator as well. I've made a living as an educator, teaching private lessons or teaching in schools, after school programs. Other ways, I've also learned a lot about the grant world, how to apply for grants and things like that. Also, just as a producer, I produce music, I do scores for independent films, different collaborations with artists. So just multiple ways that I'm able to utilize my musician skills to create an income, and also just being engaged in community and being connected to a lot of folks who help provide opportunity.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, Kev. Like, the more you learn, the more you earn, the more you know, the more you owe, right?
Yeah,
You
for
want to
sure.
give that back to the community, and you're using your resources through these
Mhm.
grants.
Yeah.
So definitely great advice to our viewers.
Mhm.
So how can you say the pandemic really influenced your music, and what have you learned?
Wow, with the pandemic, it impacted all of us. We kind of had to shut things down. I wasn't able to perform. I wasn't able to connect with audiences. So luckily, I had this space that we're in. I had a studio, and I was able to come in here and really just dive deep into my creativity. And I actually created an album, Social Distancing, in the first 6 weeks of the pandemic. Just telling that story of how we felt at that time. Just worrying about, catching corona, worrying about just income, worrying
Right.
about just what was going on in the world. And I felt like as an artist, I needed to tell that story of that exact time, because we'll never have that time again. And
Yeah.
it was a very unique situation. And I was also able to collaborate with artists because
Mhm.
everybody was at home. So I would send people files, and people would record at their home studios or just write a verse.
Nice.
Um, And also, I also felt like as an artist, I needed to keep people's spirits uplifted. Because during the pandemic, a lot of people were, going through a lot of struggles, mental health issues. People were isolated.
Yeah.
So I would either use, my social media platforms to perform for people, just try to bring some hope and positive energy during a very
Nice.
dark time.
And
So
we need that. And,
yeah.
you're
Mhm.
just telling others, I'm going to use this to my advantage. Yeah, it's a hurdle, but I'm going to get
Mhm.
through it and I'm going to bring you guys up with me. And I
For
love
sure.
that attitude. That's
Definitely.
awesome.
Hmm.
So, how long have you been rapping? I heard you rapping and singing a little
Right,
bit
right.
on one
Yeah,
of your tracks.
definitely, definitely. Well, being an MC is something I've been doing as long as I've been playing piano. I kind of grew up in the era of hip hop where a lot of my friends, that's what we used to do. We used to just freestyle, um, write poetry. Well, I kind of started off writing poetry in middle school, no, junior elementary, and then junior high. I was like, okay, I kind of started putting it to bars, and
Mm-hmm.
I had an uncle who was an MC. He
Yeah.
kind of showed me how to write my bars, and that's kind of how I started rapping around that time of 11. And I put a lot of attention and focus on the art of rapping. To me, it's an art as well.
Yeah.
Just like playing an instrument is something you got to dedicate yourself to and understand the craft. And so
100%.
I'm serious about the raps. People call me a pianist, but I'm really serious about the raps.
Yes, and I see you got Bay Area swag, so I have to ask, by the way you talk, by the way you dress, you just got that Bay swag. So
Mhm.
how has the Bay Area really influenced your art?
Mm. Wow. Well, growing up here in Oakland and also, my family's from San Francisco. The Bay Area is such a unique and very culturally rich area. So, I mean, I had aunts and uncles playing music. My friends, like I said earlier, we was all
Mhm,
engulfed in music.
mhm.
Um, I feel like art and culture and also speaking your voice is something that was taught to me at an early age. We the sons and daughters of the Black Panthers. So being able to speak your voice, standing up for your people, and not backing down from systems or anybody is something that was instilled in me at an early age. Also, the independent hustle of people like Short and 40 and the Mac Dre's and all of those folks,
Mhm.
kind of like or hieroglyphics, who I used to watch and be around as a young kid. People like that just kind of instilled independence, being your own self as an artist.
Right.
And then just, we have so much pride in the Bay Area, Oakland, different neighborhoods, Frisco, Vallejo, Richmond, San Jose, like all across the Bay. Every place is unique, but we all kind of have this Bay Area pride that I carry in my music as well,
Awesome.
for sure.
I love how at an early age you use your voice to really advocate for yourself and
Mhm.
just let it be known and you just stand for something you believe in.
Right,
So
right.
keep at it, rooting for you. We're on the breakthrough. So we
Breaking it
want to
through.
know, when do you know when you break through?
Wow, I feel like there's many different moments when you feel like you have a breakthrough. For me, it's like when I set a goal and then I see that I accomplished it. Um, or, when I realize that I'm impacting people with my music. I feel like, that's like a breakthrough. Because to me, a breakthrough is like overcoming something or accomplishing something that you really want to accomplish or
Mhm,
something that you really put your mind and your heart towards.
mhm.
So I feel like every day I'm setting myself up to try to have a breakthrough all the time to where it's not just like one breakthrough in life. Like I feel like every day should be a breakthrough. We should always be trying to break through different barriers. We should always be trying to break down, things that are holding us back. And sometimes it's even within our own self. So I'm always trying to, break down the layers of creativity that might be holding me back, or even
Mhm.
just break through the society things that we have to deal with as Black people or as musicians. So I feel like a breakthrough is every single
Every
day.
day. The small wins.
Yeah,
It's good
every single
adrenaline
day.
rush to keep
Yeah,
the
yeah,
momentum
appreciate it.
flowing. And
Hmm.
yeah, so what is your biggest achievement thus far?
That's incredible. That's an incredible question. Um, I feel like I had so many over my career. Definitely being able to get my master's degree as a just being educated. That was like one of the first, greatest achievements. Um,
Congratulations.
then going on my first tour, being able to go around the world, being able to go to like Germany, Paris, Brazil, Colombia, like going to all of these places as a musician. I feel like that's been some of my greatest achievements. working with, Lauryn Hill, I definitely feel like that was one of the greatest achievements. And as far as the industry standard of an artist who, 8-time Grammy winner, millions of records worldwide, one of the greatest singers, rappers of all time, in my opinion, being able to work with her for a year, that was definitely something that propelled my career and just my life to a whole nother level. Working with Oakland Symphony, and San Francisco Symphony, I feel like as a hip hop artist, as a pianist, as somebody from Oakland, to be able to work with those entities like symphony orchestras, that's something that not a lot of people get the opportunity to do. So, and yeah, just like breakthroughs, I feel like every day I'm trying to make the next greatest achievement. So we never know what's gonna happen next.
That's awesome. Well, I want to know a little bit more about this Lauryn Hill collab. Did you guys make music together or?
Well, basically for a year, I met Lauryn Hill here in the Bay Area through a mutual connection, and I was actually she kind of brought me on to lead her band for a whole year. She didn't like the word musical director, but in the industry, I was the musical director for her band for a whole year. It was an
Awesome.
all Bay Area collective, and we did a tour in Hawaii, we went to Japan, we went to Brazil, and then we did like a whole European tour. And it was a wild time, but I learned so much and experienced so much
Awesome.
in that year.
Well, before we let you go, we would love to know if you had any advice for any independent artists out there trying to launch or just at a stop right now. What advice do you have?
I feel like the advice I give myself every day: continue to grow, continue to learn, and also just believe in yourself. Without no inhibitions. The industry is gonna say one thing, your friends gonna say one thing, your family gonna say one thing, but you just have to have that unwavering belief in yourself and what you're trying to do, and also just be real about it. Like if you're an MC, like really be dedicated to the craft. If you're a musician, you got to really be dedicated to the craft. If you're a producer, if you're a videographer, because there's so many talented people, but the ones who make it are the ones who work the hardest and put the most into it. So I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm still every day waking up like, how can I get better? So we got to have that mentality every single day. Like, how can I get better today? Never get comfortable where you are. So
Sheesh, that was money gold right there. So if you gotta rewind it back, just listen to it again because it's money falling everywhere. But thank you, Mr. Choice, for being our special guest today. We really appreciate you, and I can't wait to hear you live once again. If you have not had the pleasure of hearing Mr. Choice's art, his songs, his work, please follow, like his social media down below. We'll link it down below. Do not waste a second. It's really worth your time. Like this video, share this video. Until next time, break through.
Who is that? Who there? It's me.
Two on the